Yeah, man. So where do we start, man? There's so many things. I got like three topics I want to touch on with you. Um,
Yeah,
and we might as well go with what's the latest, right? Um,
yeah,
the homie Shakur, you know what I'm saying,
yeah,
for Edwin de los Santos. Um,
yeah,
the in Vegas on a Thursday F1, night.
yeah,
Um, shoot, I mean the crowd. I seen pictures. It looked like it was a decent turnout, not too bad. Um, Nevertheless, we got your boy Crawford comes in with
of course.
Andre Ward. Then Mayweather pulls in the locker
Yeah,
room. You
yeah,
know, making this a moment. For
yeah,
Shakur. And
yeah,
it was a dope moment. I'm pretty sure you seen the picture. It was a dope picture.
yeah,
It's funny because Crawford wears all black, and now he want to wear all black for this one. I see what it.
yeah, yeah.
So
Well, definitely. You know what I'm saying? It's them vibes. You know what I'm saying? You take a
yeah.
lot. You take a lot from your heroes. From the people
Mm,
you look up to. You know how it is.
yes, sir. So nevertheless, Shakur comes in there, fighting Edwin de los Santos, which is no pushover whatsoever. I mean, the thing about with this kid, he's been trained with Cello from New York, which is Zab Judah's peoples. So
Okay.
throughout Zab Judah's career, they added Cello to the team. And he
Okay.
learned a lot, and the Judah team enjoyed what he brought to the table. So anyway, I guess Edwin de los Santos gets two. He has like over 200 amateur fights. Was He was in the what you call it. He was ranked high pretty much out there, and
Yeah.
I forget what he won. I forget his accolades as an amateur. So I'm not
Yeah.
even going to front right now. But
Yeah.
there was some good stuff. I think it was like he traveled because in DR right now they're traveling. They're not. It's
Yeah.
not like they're fighting each other anymore. Like they're actually traveling now.
Yeah.
So
It's becoming
anyway,
a boxing place. Yeah.
yeah, and he's 23 years old, even younger, and he
Yeah.
looked like a man, but he don't look like no 23-year-old. But he's 23.
Yeah.
So what you think, man? I mean, just your initial thoughts, your reactions on just the fight, the performance itself. Um, Grade the performance, and also just listening to the media itself, you could see where we could just touch up on it as well.
Yeah. The kid's hand was hurt. You know, the kid's hand was hurt. We knew that going in. Even Mark Krigo said that he knew that because they do the behind the scenes footage or whatever. And
Trust
he
me, bro.
learned that.
I talked to Wale.
Well, yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, I talked to a couple people in there, and I knew that his hand was hurt too. I didn't know the extent of his hand was hurt, but you could see because he didn't throw no left hands, and that's his bread and butter. He didn't throw no left hands. He didn't do the stab. He didn't do the pin you and stab. He didn't do his bread and butter punches. So you obviously he was definitely handicapped by that. And so this guy was a rangy guy, a fast guy. He just had to go through it. Probably was too late to pull out the fight, so he had to just go through with the fight and do what he had to do. You know what I'm saying? And of course, he didn't make no excuses, but I think that's probably what it was. Um, I don't think that you could see through a lot of guys are not well schooled fighters too. And I'm saying about De Los Santos, he couldn't, he didn't know how to just keep the pressure on Shakur and even evade, even though I know he's got firepower coming back, you know, uh, once you get to that spot, you're supposed to be able to defend and ready to counter and, things like that. So I wouldn't put so much bad on Shakur as in a way of that. De Los Santos had a job to do too. And, it is what it is, boxing, man. Um, like I say, I think the fight, I think he was too full in to cancel the fight, not wanting to believe in himself, first of all, having so much confidence and not wanting to give up that title shot to get passed over. And you know what I'm saying? He trying to get to there. He want to be with, still mentioning the names with Tank, Devin, and you know what I mean. If he had to cancel that fight, it would have set him back. So he wanted to close out the year as a champion. That's just my opinion. I think.
Okay. So as far as stylistically and just talking about the fight, you know what I'm saying, in detail, and at the same time listening to some of the media talking about it was a boring fight. It wasn't an
Yeah,
exciting fight.
yeah. Well, I agree with that. It wasn't an action fight. It wasn't an action fight, but you could see Shakur try to get a little aggressive. He started to add the hook later in the fight. He finally came over the top one time. He didn't land, but he finally came over the top. And like I say, that left hand was hurt. But it's definitely some things he can work on. It's just like he said. I gotta just go back and work on some things, and um that's just it. And being in the gym, and then you also got to have somebody that can raise the level of your game, you know. Um, just like I say, you got the same people in your ear all the time, which is not bad, but I'm saying just to add some new wrinkles to you. And he's like he big time. When these guys get to that level, they more almost like everybody yeses them. Nobody really tells them, really the truth, and so like I say, just a couple things I could mention that he could work on, that he could add to his game. But what he has done is, I know he can stay in the pocket, he can walk you down, but again, he only had one hand. That's why he had to do it like that. Like I say, he usually go to the body with both hands here and there. He breaks you down pretty good. So I can't. Just things didn't work out for him that night. And if you look over time, I was watching the Boxing Voice and they were saying how this guy wasn't this and he wasn't that. He was a good fighter, but sometimes those guys give you the rough fights, and sometimes the supposed best fighters give you the easiest fights. So, just win this one and let's go on to the next. And like I said earlier too, at least they talking about you. Whether they talking good or bad, they still talking about you. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, come see that motherfucker that's boring. Go watch his ad. You ever go see how boring he is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we gotta go see that shit. How terrible he is. I gotta see it for myself.
You
Yeah,
know,
so
you know what's crazy is that I talked to Coach Kenny about this, and he had really nothing bad to say, but
yeah,
in the same time, and he thought that Shakur, for what it was good. It wasn't the most exciting, just like anybody else, and he didn't
yeah,
even mention that he showed real love. Um,
yeah,
but in the same time, it was like when Tank fought Esau Cruz,
yeah,
I gotta go back and watch it again. But
yeah.
in my behalf, did Tank keep it exciting with one hand? Like, cause it's hard to keep it exciting with one hand. I'm not gonna fold you, like when you're going
Well,
against.
I think that like I said, Tank got hit a little bit in that fight too. Shakur didn't get hit. Shakur's the type that don't get hit. I was thinking another exciting fight was the Gary Russell fight. I thought he beat Magasayo with one hand. Um, but Tank is just an exciting fighter, and just the air of danger is always in his punches. And he had two hands. He really had one, but he was using the other one. And like I say, Cruz was a very determined fighter, and wouldn't stop neither. He was very determined too. So when he got there, he was letting his hands go. So De La Cruz wasn't letting Santos wasn't letting his hands go. He was, and he didn't have no wrinkle to his game. Everything he came was fast right away. He didn't have no subtleness to his game. He never tried to back off and try to let Shakur come to him a little bit. Even Shakur dictated that. When he did, Shakur dictated that. So he didn't have nothing. He didn't have Jella Santos didn't have nothing. And he wasn't, like I say, I guess when Shakur was hitting him too, he said, shit, I better be careful. You see them glistening hooks he caught him with late?
Hell yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, man, he get shit. So that kid got some power, and he got some strong too. Cause like I say, you ain't just walking him down and walking over him. And he just got that annoying style. He like Winky Wright. You know, he put his hands up. You can't hit him. He keep walking you down. This kid, every move you make, if you blink, he'll move. You know, every move you make, if you blink, Shakur gonna move. So that's a tough task.